What if everything you've been waiting for is already within your reach, just waiting for you to realize it? Today you're about to uncover a truth that can completely transform how you see yourself and your life. There is a truth about your life that has been hidden in plain sight, not because it doesn't exist, but because if you fully understood it, you would become unstoppable. There are systems, voices, and even your own fears that have tried to convince you that you are waiting, that you are lacking, that you are behind. But what they don't want you to know is this: what you are praying for, what you are striving toward, what you believe is distant, it is already yours. The real battle is not about access, it is about awareness. You have been conditioned to think in terms of scarcity. You've been taught to chase what you already carry. You've been told to beg for what has already been assigned to you. But you were never created to live as a beggar. You were designed to operate as a possessor. Everything you need to fulfill your purpose has already been deposited within you. The ideas, the strength, the resilience, the vision, it's not coming later, it's already present. The problem is not that you don't have it. The problem is that you have not activated it. When you don't know who you are, you will settle for less than what belongs to you. When you don't understand your assignment, you will accept distractions as destiny. And when you don't recognize your authority, you will keep asking for permission in places where you were meant to take dominion. This is why confusion is so dangerous. It keeps powerful people passive. It keeps equipped people waiting. It keeps chosen people doubting. But today, something must shift in your mindset. You must move from hoping to knowing, from waiting to walking, from wishing to claiming, because ownership begins in your thinking before it ever shows up in your reality. If you believe you are lacking, you will act like you are lacking. But if you understand that it's already yours, your posture changes, your confidence rises, your decisions become bold, your actions become intentional. Stop asking, when will it happen? And start asking, what must I do with what I already have? Because what you do now determines what manifests later. Seeds don't beg for trees. They become them through growth. And you are no different. Everything assigned to your life is waiting for your alignment, not your anxiety. There is a powerful truth that many people overlook, not because it is hidden, but because it challenges everything they have been taught to believe. What you are seeking is already yours. You have been conditioned to think that success, peace, purpose, and fulfillment are distant rewards, things that exist somewhere ahead of you, waiting to be earned after enough struggle. But that mindset keeps you trapped in a cycle of chasing instead of becoming. The reality is that what you desire most has already been placed within you, not outside of you. You are not empty, waiting to be filled. You are equipped, waiting to be activated. From the very beginning, you were designed with intention. Nothing about your existence is accidental. The ideas you carry, the passions you feel, the abilities you often overlook, these are not random. They are indicators of what has already been deposited inside you. Yet, because you have been taught to look outward for validation and opportunity, you ignore the treasure within. You search for doors, not realizing you were created to build them. You wait for permission, not understanding you were given authority. This is why so many people feel stuck, not because they lack potential, but because they have not recognized possession. When you truly understand that it is already yours, your mindset begins to shift. You stop approaching life with desperation and start moving with confidence. You no longer beg for opportunities. You prepare for them. You don't wait to feel ready. You start working with what you already have. Because ownership is not something that begins when you receive. It begins when you believe. The moment you change how you see yourself is the moment everything around you starts to change. This truth also demands responsibility. If it is already yours, then you cannot keep making excuses. You cannot blame your environment, your past, or other people for what you have not yet manifested. Instead, you must ask yourself a different question. Am I using what I have been given? Because what is within you will only grow when it is exercised. Just like a seed, it must be nurtured, developed, and put into action. Waiting will not activate it, movement will. So stop looking at your life as if something is missing. Nothing is missing. What you need is already present, already available, already yours. The key is to stop doubting it, stop delaying it, and start walking in it. When you embrace this truth, you step into a new level of confidence and clarity. You begin to act with purpose, speak with conviction, and move with intention. And as you do, you will realize that you were never chasing something far away. You were awakening something that has been within you all along. There's a profound difference between having something and knowing that you have it. Many people go through life carrying potential, gifts, and opportunities within them, yet they live as if they are empty. The issue is not absence, it is awareness. What you fail to recognize, you cannot use. What you do not understand, you cannot apply. This is why awareness is so powerful, because it is the key that unlocks possession. Until you become conscious of what is already within you, you will continue to search outside for what has always been inside. You may have the ability to lead, but without awareness, you will keep following. You may have the creativity to build something impactful, but without awareness, you will keep doubting your ideas. You may have the strength to overcome obstacles, but without awareness, every challenge will feel like a limitation instead of an opportunity. Awareness changes how you interpret your reality. It shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, from confusion to clarity, and from hesitation to action. When you become aware, something begins to shift internally. You start to see yourself differently. You recognize that your value is not determined by external validation, but by internal realization. This understanding creates confidence, not the kind that depends on circumstances, but the kind that comes from knowing who you are and what you carry. And once that awareness takes root, it becomes difficult for doubt, fear, or comparison to control you, because you are no longer questioning your worth. However, awareness is not automatic. It requires intentional reflection and a willingness to challenge what you have been taught. Many people are comfortable staying unaware because awareness brings responsibility. The moment you realize what you are capable of, you can no longer hide behind excuses. You can no longer blame your past, your environment, or other people for your inaction. Awareness forces you to confront your potential and demands that you do something with it. This is why awareness is the turning point in every transformation. It is the moment when you stop waiting for change and start becoming the change. It is when you move from wishing to doing, from hoping to building. Because once you are aware of what you possess, you begin to act like it. Your decisions align with your identity. Your actions reflect your understanding. And your life starts to shift in response to your new perspective. So the question is not whether you have what it takes. The real question is whether you are aware of it. Because everything you need is already within you, waiting to be recognized, activated, and expressed. The moment you open your eyes to that truth is the moment you step into ownership. And once awareness unlocks that door, you don't just hope for a better life. You begin to create it with confidence and purpose. There is a mindset that has quietly shaped how many people approach life, and it is the mindset of begging, constantly asking, constantly waiting, constantly hoping that something or someone will grant them access to what they desire. But that was never your design. You were not created to live at the mercy of circumstances or the approval of others. You were designed to possess, to take responsibility, and to walk in authority over the life you've been given. The difference between begging and possessing is not just behavior, it is identity. And until your identity shifts, your results will remain limited. When you see yourself as someone who must beg, you approach opportunities with hesitation. You second-guess your worth, you shrink your voice, you settle for less because you believe you should be grateful for whatever comes your way. But when you understand that you were designed to possess, your posture changes. You no longer approach life from a place of lack, but from a place of confidence. You begin to realize that your value is not determined by others. It is already established within you. Possession is not about arrogance or entitlement. It is about alignment. It is about recognizing what has been placed within you and taking responsibility for it. You don't possess something by accident. Possess it by purpose. Your gifts, your ideas, your abilities are not random. They are intentional deposits meant to be expressed. But if you keep waiting for permission, you will delay what you were meant to release. If you keep asking others to validate you, You will remain dependent on opinions instead of grounded in truth. Many people struggle because they confuse humility with passivity. They believe that stepping forward boldly means being prideful, so they hold themselves back. But true humility is not denying what you have. It is understanding that what you have was given for a reason and choosing to use it fully. You honor your purpose not by hiding it, but by walking in it. You respect your design not by shrinking, but by expanding into it. The moment you stop begging is the moment you start building. Instead of asking for chances, you start creating them. Instead of waiting for doors, you start knocking or even constructing your own. You begin to take ownership of your growth, your decisions, and your direction. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but it begins with a decision to see yourself differently. You must reject the idea that you are powerless. You must refuse to believe that your future is controlled by external forces alone. You have been given the capacity to think, to act, to create, and to lead. These are not small things. They are evidence of your design. When you embrace this truth, you step out of a life of limitation and into a life of intention. So stop approaching life as if you are waiting for approval. Stand in the understanding that you were designed with purpose and authority. What belongs to you does not require you to beg for it. It requires you to recognize it, align with it, and move in it. Everything you experience in your life is first shaped in your mind before it ever appears in your reality. The way you think is not just a private process. It is a creative force. Your mindset determines how you see opportunities, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately what you allow yourself to become. Many people focus on changing their circumstances without ever addressing their thinking, but that approach leads to frustration. You cannot consistently produce a life that is greater than your mindset. If your thinking remains limited, your results will eventually reflect those limits. When your mindset is rooted in doubt, fear, and scarcity, you begin to act in ways that reinforce those beliefs. You hesitate when opportunities arise. You overanalyze instead of taking action. You expect failure, so you prepare for it even unconsciously. And over time, those patterns create outcomes that match your expectations. It is not that you are incapable, it is that your mindset is working against you. On the other hand, when your thinking is aligned with confidence, clarity, and purpose, your actions begin to shift. You take initiative, you become consistent. You see possibility where others see obstacles. This is how manifestation begins, not as a mystical event, but as a natural result of aligned thinking and intentional action. Your mind is like a filter that interprets everything around you. Two people can face the same situation, yet produce completely different outcomes based on how they think about it. One sees a setback and decides to quit. The other sees a lesson and chooses to grow. The difference is not the situation. It is the mindset. This is why transformation always begins internally. You cannot wait for external change to inspire internal growth. You must develop the right mindset first, and then your environment will begin to respond to it. However, changing your mindset requires discipline. It means becoming aware of your thoughts and challenging the ones that limit you. It means replacing excuses with responsibility and fear with faith in your ability to grow. This is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing how you respond to it. You are not in control of everything that happens to you, but you are in control of how you think about it, and that control is powerful. Once your mindset begins to change, your behavior naturally follows. You start making decisions that align with the future you want instead of the past you've experienced. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating momentum. And as your actions become more intentional, your results begin to shift. What once felt impossible starts to feel achievable, not because the world changed, but because you did. So if you want to change what shows up in your life, start by changing what is going on in your mind. Because manifestation is not something that happens to you. It is something that flows through you, beginning with how you think and expanding into what you do. So now you understand the truth that was hidden in plain sight. What you've been searching for is not ahead of you, it's within you. You are not empty, you are equipped. You are not waiting, you are awakening. Everything changes the moment you become aware. Shift your mindset and step into the authority you were designed to carry. This is not the time to doubt yourself or delay your purpose. This is the moment to act on what you already have. Stop asking for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop underestimating your potential. Start thinking like an owner. Start moving with intention and start building the life that already belongs to you. Make a decision today, right now, to take one bold step forward. Use your gifts. Trust your vision. Walk in your purpose because it's already yours. Now go and live like it. Now that you know it's already yours, the only question left is, will you step into it? Go forward with confidence, take action, and become everything you were created to be.